Have you ever found yourself whispering to the quiet corners of your mind, "I'll do it tomorrow"? It's a phrase as common as breathing, a silent promise we make to ourselves in the relentless current of modern life. In this fast-paced world where every second feels meticulously scheduled and every moment borrowed from an ever-dwindling future, it's remarkably easy to fall into the comforting illusion that time is an endless reservoir. There will always be more time, we tell ourselves. More time to dial that loved one whose voice you miss. More time to chase that audacious dream that stirs your soul. More time to simply live. But what if, one crisp morning, the stark realization hits you that the train you've been patiently, perhaps complacently, waiting for has already departed the station, leaving behind only the ghost of its whistle? This is the poignant narrative of Michael. Yet in countless profound ways, it echoes the untold stories residing within each of us. Michael was a man of formidable intellect and boundless ambition, hailing from a quaint, unassuming town nestled amidst rolling hills and quiet streams. The world he knew in his youth was one of simple pleasures and predictable rhythms, where the community knew each other by name and life moved at a more measured pace. But Michael harbored dreams that transcended the tranquil confines of his hometown. He envisioned a life of extraordinary possibilities for his family, a future brimming with opportunities he himself had never been afforded. His primary motivation, a burning ember deep within his heart, was to provide his spirited young daughter Lily with an education that would unlock every door, and to ensure his aging parents, Robert and Patricia, received the finest care and comfort in their golden years. Above all, he yearned to sculpt a better, more secure life for them all. Driven by this powerful vision, Michael made the momentous decision to uproot his family from their familiar surroundings and transplant them into the vibrant, pulsating heart of a sprawling metropolitan city. The transition was a whirlwind of new sights, sounds, and challenges, but Michael, with his keen mind and unwavering resolve, quickly found his footing. He secured a coveted position at a prestigious multinational IT corporation, a beacon of modern industry and innovation. His rise was swift and impressive. He excelled in his role, navigating complex projects and intricate corporate politics with an almost effortless grace. Success, in the tangible forms of promotions, lucrative bonuses, and the respect of his peers, began to cascade into his life. He was building the future he had so fervently dreamt of. The apartment grew larger, the car more luxurious, and the school Lily attended boasted the best facilities. On the surface, it appeared Michael was meticulously constructing the perfect life. However, life, in its profound and often cruel wisdom, frequently reminds us of an immutable truth. To gain something substantial, we often find ourselves relinquishing something equally precious. For Michael, the relentless pursuit of professional success inexorably began to consume him. The demands of his new, high-powered role were insatiable. His days became a dizzying blur of back-to-back meetings, each more critical than the last, requiring his sharp intellect and decisive judgment. His evenings were consumed by the meticulous preparation of intricate reports, analyses that demanded unwavering focus long after most people had retreated to the comfort of their homes. Often, his work necessitated extensive travel, whisking him away to different cities, sometimes even to neighboring countries, leaving a void at the dinner table and an empty space beside Sarah in their bed. He toiled with an almost superhuman intensity, working day and night, sacrificing weekends and holidays. The lines between his professional and personal life blurred, then vanished entirely.
His once vibrant and diverse interests withered, replaced by the singular focus of his career. He convinced himself, with a conviction bordering on dogma, that this relentless grind was a temporary sacrifice, a necessary evil. Success, he rationalized, was the ultimate panacea, the magical elixir that would eventually fix everything. Once he had amassed enough wealth, enough recognition, enough security, then he would have an abundance of time, glorious, unburdened time, to revel in the joys of his family, to rediscover the simple pleasures he had forsaken. He genuinely believed that the present was merely a means to an end, a period for hard work and accumulating financial resources, while the true living, the real enjoyment, awaited him in a distant, undefined future. This conviction, though born of good intentions, proved to be a corrosive force. In the dizzying vortex of his increasingly busy work life, Michael slowly, almost imperceptibly, began to withdraw from the very people he claimed to be working for. The spontaneous, joyous playtimes with Lily, once a cherished ritual, became increasingly rare, then non-existent. "Daddy's busy, sweetie," became a refrain Lily heard more often than "let's." The valuable, romantic moments he once shared with his wife, Sarah, the quiet conversations, the shared laughter over a glass of wine, the intimate gestures that nourished their bond, were gradually delayed, then forgotten. Sarah, once his confidant and closest companion, found herself increasingly relegated to the periphery of his life, a silent observer of his relentless march towards an elusive future. His father, Robert, a man of quiet strength and enduring wisdom, began to exhibit subtle signs of declining health. Michael, perpetually swamped, repeatedly delayed taking him for his regular health checkups, always promising, "Next weekend, Dad." The urgency felt distant, abstract. And in this wholesale abandonment of his personal life, Michael also started to neglect his own health and happiness. The gym membership gathered dust, healthy meals were replaced by hurried takeout, and the vibrant, joyful spark that once defined him began to dim, replaced by a perpetual state of exhaustion and a subtle undercurrent of anxiety. He was building a kingdom, but losing his soul in the process. Then, one day, the universe delivered a brutal, undeniable lesson in the fragility of time. Michael was on a critical business trip to a neighboring country, immersed in high-stakes negotiations, his phone buzzing with emails and calls. That night, far away from the comfort of his home, his father, Robert, silently and peacefully passed away in his sleep. The call came in the dead of night, a jarring ring that tore through the sterile silence of his hotel room. It was his mother, Patricia, her voice a thin, reedy whisper of grief and disbelief. Michael felt the world tilt on its axis. A cold, crushing wave of guilt and regret washed over him. He frantically booked the first available flight, his mind a maelstrom of sorrow and self-reproach. But the distances were too vast, the logistics too complex. He couldn't make it home in time. He missed his father's funeral, a sacred rite of passage, a final farewell that he, his eldest son, was absent from. The empty chair where he should have sat, the unspoken words he should have uttered, became a searing wound in his conscience, a permanent scar on his heart. This profound loss, while devastating, served as a stark, albeit temporary, jolt. For a brief period, Michael vowed to change, to reprioritize, but the ingrained habits of years, the relentless pressures of his career, proved too powerful. He slipped back into his old patterns, perhaps with a renewed yet ultimately futile determination to make up for lost time later. And so the pattern of missed moments continued, accumulating like fallen leaves in autumn.
He missed countless other significant milestones, moments that, once gone, could never be reclaimed. He missed Lily's first tentative steps, a moment of pure, unadulterated joy that Sarah recorded on her phone, a poignant substitute for his physical presence. He missed her first school play, a heartwarming spectacle where Lily, dressed as a tiny, wobbly star, searched for his face in the audience, her small smile faltering when she didn't find him. Lily, with her innocent, unwavering faith in her father, would wait many nights at the window, a small, brightly colored drawing clutched in her tiny hand, her eyes scanning the street for his car. But he never came, or if he did, it was long after her bedtime, when her eyelids had finally succumbed to sleep. Every first in Lily's young life tragically became a next time for Michael, a promise he could never truly keep. The chasm between his intentions and his actions widened with each passing day. Sarah watched these missed moments with a quiet, growing despair, her heart aching for the family they could have been. Then, one day, the fragile illusion Michael had meticulously constructed around himself shattered with a final, devastating blow. The persistent chest pains he had been ignoring, dismissing as stress or fatigue, finally became undeniable. A routine checkup, long overdue, revealed a grim reality. Michael was diagnosed with a rare, aggressive heart condition. The doctor, a man whose face was etched with empathy and wariness, delivered the news with a solemn, hushed tone that seemed to echo in the sterile quiet of the consultation room. 1 year at best, Michael, he said, his voice laced with regret. Perhaps a little more, with aggressive treatment, but 1 year, to be. The words hung in the air, cold and merciless, carving a chasm through Michael's carefully constructed world. Time, the very commodity he had so casually squandered, was now being measured out to him in finite, precious drops. That night, something profound and irreversible shifted within Michael. He didn't drive his usual direct route home. Instead, he took the long way, a meandering path that led him through the familiar, yet now strangely poignant, park of his childhood. He walked past the weathered tea stall where he had first met Sarah, their eyes locking over steaming cups of chai, a memory that now felt like it belonged to another lifetime. He paused by the dusty window of the bookstore he had always meant to visit, to browse its shelves, to get lost in its quiet corners. He had always planned to, tomorrow. He didn't cry from fear of death. The tears that finally came, hot and stinging, were not for the life he was about to lose, but for the life he had never truly lived. They were tears of profound regret for every missed sunrise, every unspoken word, every postponed hug, every dream deferred. The weight of all those tomorrows he had promised himself, now revealed as empty vessels, crushed him. The very next day, a transformed Michael walked into his gleaming office, the place that had consumed his life, and tendered his resignation. The shock and disbelief on his colleagues' faces were palpable, but he felt an exhilarating lightness, a freedom he hadn't experienced in years. He didn't elaborate, simply stating it was time to live. From that day forward, Michael embarked on a furious, yet profoundly peaceful, mission to reclaim what little time he had left. He began spending every sunrise with Lily, a ritual he now cherished above all else. He would walk her to school, holding her tiny hand, feeling the warmth of her small fingers entwined with his, savoring the simple rhythm of their footsteps. He cooked breakfast with Sarah, the aroma of sizzling bacon and fresh coffee filling their home, learning to laugh with her without the compulsive need to check his phone, truly present in the moment. He rediscovered the joy of shared silences, of simply being together.
He unearthed an old leather-bound diary his mother, Patricia, had kept for him during his childhood, filled with her observations, his youthful antics, and her quiet hopes for his future. As he read through its yellowed pages, he laughed again, a genuine, hearty laugh that surprised even himself. He lived again, with a fervor and depth he had never known. Time hadn't miraculously stopped for Michael. Its relentless march continued, but he had learned to slow down his own internal clock, to attune himself to its subtle, precious heartbeat. He began to notice the intricate patterns of sunlight filtering through the leaves, the delicate scent of rain on dry earth, the nuanced expressions on his loved ones' faces. For 11 precious months, Michael gave time what he had never given it before, his complete, unwavering presence. He spent afternoons teaching Lily to ride her bicycle, his hands steadying her as she wobbled, his cheers echoing in the park. He took Sarah on long, aimless drives, rediscovering forgotten corners of the city, their hands clasped, their conversations flowing effortlessly, like in the early days of their romance. He sat with his mother for hours, listening to her stories, sharing his own, mending the silent rifts that had formed over years of neglect. He revisited old friends, sharing laughter and reminiscences, making new memories that would last. He learned to bake, to paint, to play the guitar he had bought years ago and never touched. Each day was a deliberate act of living, a conscious choice to savor every breath, every interaction, every fleeting moment of beauty. When Michael eventually passed, peacefully and surrounded by the love he had so desperately sought to provide, he left behind a letter. It wasn't a will, nor a list of instructions, but a profound testament to the wisdom he had gained in his final, precious year. The letter, penned in his familiar, steady hand, read, "My dearest family, and to anyone who may find these words, time isn't a thief. It is, in truth, the most precious gift we are given, a gift we so often squander, foolishly believing its supply is unlimited. I miss trains that once departed, never came again. I postponed conversations, delayed laughter,
and deferred dreams, always convinced there would be another opportunity, another day. I chased a future that stole my present. But in this last unexpected ride, I finally learned to sit by the window. I learned to truly see the world go by, to feel the wind on my face, to hear the symphony of everyday life. I learned to hold Lily's hand, to truly listen to Sarah's heart, to simply be with my mother. And in doing so, I found more joy and fulfillment in those few months than in all the years of my relentless pursuit of. Don't wait for a diagnosis, a crisis, or a tragedy to jolt you into living. Don't wait for permission to be happy, to connect, to pursue what truly matters. Life is not a dress rehearsal for some grand future performance. This moment, right now, is your stage. This was my story, but in so many ways, it is the story of all of us. We don't need a dire warning to start living. We need awareness, a profound, visceral understanding that life is unfolding right now, in this very instant. Time is not promised, but this moment, the one you are experiencing, undeniably is. Ask yourself, with brutal honesty, what have you been putting off? Who are you waiting to call, to forgive, to cherish? What dream, what passion, what quiet yearning are you postponing until an elusive tomorrow? Remember this with every fiber of your being. The problem is not a lack of time. The problem is you think you have time. Life doesn't wait for your perfect moment, and neither should you. Use your time wisely, with intention and purpose. Spend more quality time with your family and friends, nurturing those invaluable bonds.
Yet, do not lose your focus from your career goals entirely, for ambition, when balanced, can also be a source of fulfillment. Only through this delicate equilibrium can you truly live a complete, rich, and meaningful life. So today, right now, take that first imperfect step. It doesn't have to be grand or flawlessly executed. Send that message you've been composing in your head. Watch the sunset. Truly watch it, letting its colors wash over you. Sit by the window and really see the world in all its intricate, beautiful detail. You don't need more time. You just need to start. Start.